Now, while the new series is on, we're uploading classic Unreported World episodes every Wednesday. This week's takes us to Russia to meet the country's most prolific parents. The government's expansionist intentions have extended into family life, it seems, where they reward ultra-fertile parents, including one family with 18 children. But the darker side of the resurgence in traditional values is a rise in homophobia and the removal of women's rights. This episode was first aired in March, when Marcel Theroux went to find out more.
On the banks of the River Don, in the southeast of Russia, an extraordinary service is taking place. Members of Russia's 1,000-year-old Orthodox Church are washing away their sins with an icy swim. Incredible as it sounds, scenes like this are taking place across Russia today, because this is the Feast of Epiphany. People are jumping into cold water everywhere. But this place has a special significance. This is the Don River. This is the Cossack heartland of Russia. And the Cossacks are seen as the guardian of the eternal Russian values of patriotism, God, and family. This is also the sign of an extraordinary revival. For most of the last 100 years, the church was persecuted by the communist government. Now, the Orthodox Church and President Vladimir Putin are new best friends. Leading the service is Father Yevgeny Osyak, one of 18 children in a family who are becoming national celebrities. At the Church of the Holy Trinity in nearby Rostov-on-Don, the Osyak sisters form the core of the choir. Down below is the patriarch of the family, Father Ioan Osyak. He and his children are a symbol of the new Russia, religious, conservative, and deeply patriotic. Did you ever imagine that the Orthodox Church would have the importance that it has today?
Если я в детстве шел в церковь, ну, скажем, конец 60-х, когда за волосы вытаскивали, то сейчас совершенно по-другому. Сейчас полная свобода. Я очень благодарен нашему президенту Владимиру Владимировичу Путину. Как бы странно это ни казалось, и как бы что бы ни говорилось бы, но этот человек сегодня как отец, вот, как мой отец, беспокоится за каждого человека в стране. Беспокоится о том, чтобы многодетные семьи были, много чего.
The church looks ancient, but it's barely 20 years old. Since President Putin came to power, 25,000 new churches have been built. Oh, hello. I'm Marcel. What is this place?
This place is a TV studio.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, the first Christian TV in the south of Russia.
It's the first Christian TV station?
It is.
From next door, there's the sound of gunfire. They're editing a new show, and it's not songs of praise. I'm scared. I think they're going to attack me.
They're doing this type of stuff to be sure that the child can protect himself, his family.
Russian Orthodoxy is not a turn-the-other-cheek religion. This military training was organised by a local priest. Rostov's just 100 kilometers away from the contested border with Ukraine. Father Ioan has invited me to meet his family in the suburbs of Rostov-on-Don. This is where Father Johann lives with his wife, Nadezhda. I've come to meet her to find out about the reality of being the mother to 18 children. Wow. It's big. Hello. Nice to meet you. Beautiful. Speaks English as well as her other talents. The Osyaks have 10 sons and 8 daughters, ranging in age from 7 to 33, and 25 grandchildren too. Nadezhda had her first child at 18.
Как только я закончила школу, я ушла работать на хлебозавод. А потом повенчались, и у нас родился первый ребенок. Я ушла в декретный отпуск. И вот у меня декретный отпуск продолжался 28 лет. Ни разу не прерывался.
Her daughters are also starting their families young.
Это Иван Ильич.
Иван Ильич?
Иван Ильич. Вот мама.
Нет, мама идет.
Мама его. Дочка моя.
Дочка, здравствуйте.
А вот еще вторая у нее, уже видите?
И как вас зовут?
Мария.
Мария, очень приятно, Мария. Меня зовут Marcel. Maria's 18. She's the Osyak's 12th child. Seraphim is the 13th. And 13, is that an unlucky number in Russian?
Счастливый.
Пойдемте, да? Пойдемте.
The Osyaks are exceptional in a country where the population has been shrinking for the last 20 years. Their exemplary fertility has been recognised by the government with a special medal.
А вот он орден, вот. Мы одни из первых в России.
To be eligible for the Order of Parental Glory, you must have 7 or more children and be morally upstanding. The Osyaks tick all the boxes. Oh, Nadezhda's coming out with hers.
А это международный.
Международный. Поздравляю.
Она бриллианты такие.
А это вот родительская слава, которую нас наградили.
What did you feel when you met the president and he gave you the award?
Ну, это было очень так торжественно и трогательно. Конечно, приятно, то, что заметили нас, что столько деток.
Знаете почему? Потому что сама по себе женщина, это как Богом созданная, да? А когда она еще в положении, то это очень высокое предназначение человека. Она дает человека еще в мир.
Their youngest, 7-year-old Anastasia, also has something to boast about. Oh, that's your tooth. Поставить подушки?
Я сзади засунула в пластилин, другой выкинула, и вот осталось.
The most striking thing about this house is how amazingly tidy it is. Looks like it's ready for a magazine shoot. In this showpiece home, even the teenagers' bedrooms are immaculate. Anya is 16.
За всем этажом.
Oh, okay.
А это ее комната личная.
Очень...
Покажи.
Она тоже очень аккуратная.
У нее самая чистая комната.
Anya, do you want to have a big family too?
Да, ну сколько Господь даст. Очень много хочу. Как у мамы с папой. Хорошо, что у нас верующие, православные. Это самое, что главное. И родители у меня папа сам.
We go in search of the rest of the family and find most of them hanging out in the basement. Wow! Oh my God, здравствуйте! There's so many people. Hi. Oh, sorry. Gordon Bennett. I'm whisked off to see the rest of the facilities. Okay, let's look at the swimming pool. Wow. I'm wondering how he paid for all this on his church salary.
В России очень много людей добрых. И вот этот дом у нас построен чисто на благотворителей построен. Ну, те, которые нас нашли просто...
He tells me the donors include the country's richest woman, the head of the national railways, and a billionaire MP. All keen to associate themselves with the Osyaks' family values. Father Johann is not just free to practice his religion, he's well rewarded for it. His family has become a shiny advert for the new values that Vladimir Putin wants to promote: family, God, and country. There's another side to the resurgence of the Orthodox Church, a wave of intolerance with homophobic views and graphic descriptions of abortion on TV.
Понимаете, эти люди, вот эти, так сказать, геи, голубые, как их там называют?
На Западе политическую власть в значительной мере захватило вот это вот извращенческое меньшинство.
Способов. Как у немцев было 1000 способов сгноить 1 миллион людей, так сегодня у этих всех палачей в белых халатах есть 1000 способов как бы выскоблить человека из материнского организма.
This is brand new broadcaster Zargrad TV. It's like this bizarre amalgam of Fox News and the Russian Orthodox Church. But they're deadly serious about this. Their message is that liberal values are over and this is the future. Wow, this is nice. I'm meeting its founder, Konstantin Malafeyev. Hi, Marcel Theroux, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Should I call you? He's a banker with vast riches, huge energy, and Kremlin connections.
Our audience is pretty young. These people who grew up after millennium, they're very orthodox. They are conservative, they're traditionalist, and they believe that liberals, it's sort of hippie.
He's got a vision for Russia.
Back to Russian Empire time, when we were orthodox, when we have 7 children for one family, when we were proud to be Russian.
Konstantin Malafeyev's pride in Russia has led to him being hit with international sanctions for giving money to the rebels in Ukraine. Felt this was necessary? An Orthodox TV channel was something you wanted to do?
Yes, of course, Orthodoxy, that's the way of life.
But people in the West see the rise of Orthodoxy here also as an attack on gay people, an attack on women's right to abortion. That's something that you're very strongly critical of.
We are believers, and in the Bible they call sodomites, so we call them sodomites.
The guru of the operation is this man, Alexander Dugin. He sees Russia and the West as opponents in a global spiritual battle. One writer called him Putin's brain. You believe that it's not likely that Russia and the West should come into conflict. It's inevitable.
The West is very aggressive, colonial, imperialist, and try to submit any other civilization under its will. We reject that exactly in the measure it attacks us.
But there is one aspect of the hypocritical West that has caught his fancy.
I really like Donald Trump. Trump's America is traditional and conservative, healthy and worthy of respect.
I'm catching the metro to an increasingly rare thing in Russia, a protest outside the Russian parliament, or Duma. The church believes there's such a thing as reasonable and loving physical punishment within a family, and wants violence against spouse or child decriminalized. It's -10, but a handful of women have braved the cold to protest outside the Duma. There's the second reading of the bill that would decriminalize domestic violence. 10,000 Russian women are estimated to die at the hands of their partners every year. Government has clamped down so much on protests in the last few years, they've become very scarce. And when protesters come here, there's a law that says they have to stand 50 meters apart. The new law would reduce the punishment for domestic violence from prison to a fine. It's a play on the MasterCard ad. It says to hit a wife, 5,000 rubles, to beat up a child, 7,000 rubles, family values, priceless. What do family values mean?
В нашей стране семейные традиции – это некое понятие, под которым понимаются, как правило, православные ценности, основанные на патриархате, основанные на силе мужчины и слабости женщины и его детей.
Здравствуйте. Do you think it's a lot to do with the influence of the church and on the government?
Церковь у нас очень часто оперирует посланием апостола Павла, в котором говорится, что боится жена мужа своего, и советует женщинам нести этот крест смирения, терпения, молчания.
A week later, President Putin signed the bill into law. As the bill was being passed, I went to see Konstantin Malafeyev at one of his other projects, a vast new school outside Moscow. I'd heard he was a supporter of the bill. There's a bill in Parliament right now to decriminalise domestic violence.
Oh, we are for that. That was us behind this.
Well,
we are a lobbying group behind this, of course.
Which lobbying? You personally or the channel? Or Zagrad?
All of us.
So isn't it bad when someone beats their wife?
Never allow state to interfere in your family. We know exactly what would happen if state would start to interfere in the family. Family is sacral.
People like Konstantin Malafeyev want a Russian Empire 2.0. Great, like the USSR, but which doesn't meddle in its citizens' lives. And it's part of a whole family values agenda that not only should families be big, but the state shouldn't intervene, even when there's violence going on in the home. I'm back in Rostov-on-Don. I'm on my way to visit another big family. In fact, the biggest family in the entire country. They show a very different side of Russia. The woman I'm about to meet has been a mother to more than 70 children. While the government wants upstanding Russians to have bigger families, an estimated 600,000 children have parents who can't or won't take care of them. The government can't persuade enough Russians to adopt and is relying on a few exceptional people like Tatyana Sorokina. She's adopted 48 children and fostered more. In all, she's taken in 76.
Любую работу можно отложить. Постирать можно завтра, убрать можно завтра, а кушать хочется всегда.
Can you tell me how you end up adopting the children?
Ну, это же алкоголизм родителей. Они голодовали. Многие приезжают первые дни, они вот едят и с собой под матрасы прячут, под подушки прячут еду. Все мало было.
Дети, кушать!
6-year-old Kostya was abandoned by his parents and left to fend for himself on the streets.
На столе половина. За столом или где мы находимся? Быстро кушать.
Next to him is Kolya, aged 5.
У нас Коля быстрее всех кушает.
He's already been rejected by one adoptive family. Now Tatyana's trying to socialize him.
Да не балуйся, как не кушают люди. Только свиньи кушают.
Мне еще домой вообще надо ехать. Так что-то не писано.
Коля, рот закрой. А теперь открывай и кушай быстро.
There's two ways here. There's Tatyana's way and the highway. And Kolya's a new arrival. He's only been here a couple of months. So that's why she's being kind of tough with him. She wants him to behave properly. After supper, the children let off steam in the basement they've named the sports hall. You can see they go a bit crazy down here. Well, I suppose there's 18 of you living in a house, however big it is. There's got to be somewhere where you go and just go completely nuts, and this is it. Once, thousands of Russian children found homes abroad. But Russia has clamped down on adoption to countries that permit gay marriage and banned adoption by Americans outright. I've got a sort of ringing headache from being down in the sports hall with all those kids going crazy. And it's incredible thing that is Tatyana's reality 24/7, looking after so many children. But it's also moving when you think that a lot of those kids came from difficult circumstances And if it weren't for her, they would be leading lives that are considerably worse. The next morning, Tatiana and family are off to the supermarket. The state gives Tatiana some money for the children, but it barely covers food.
18, 19. Так, раз, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть.
I asked Tatiana what kind of family Kolya comes from.
Мама больная на голову, много детей, 6 детей. А этих 4 детей взяла приемная семья, другая, не моя, другая. В общем, 3 детей хорошие, а этот плохой.
Какие проблемы с ним?
Истерики, поведение плохое. Но уже вот 2 месяца начинает, нашли подход.
She tells me Kolya is desperate to start kindergarten next week. She said he can, if he behaves.
И вот он понемножку старается.
I want to know if he'll make it. But first, it's time to say goodbye to the Osyaks. I'm joining them for church. They're in their Sunday best, mink coats, even though it's Friday. Today is a special service to honour Father Johan's patron saint, John the Baptist. 5 of his sons are serving alongside him. Whether you're devout or not, this is an amazing spectacle. It's like a piece of theatre. The doors keep opening and closing. The air is full of the smell of incense. It's got some undeniable power. After the end of the Soviet Union, many people thought it was only a matter of time before Russia became like the West. Instead, the Orthodox Church and Putin's government are rejecting the West and its values as they strive to make Russia great again.
Видно в писаниях, в священных писаниях, на которых я вырос, батюшка Серафим писал, что Россия ценой страданий придет к великой славе. И многие народы увидят, что она была на коленях, но встала и своей красотой, своей радостью и добротою ко всем народам. Все народы низко поклонятся ей.
I've got one last goodbye to make. We got up at the crack of dawn to go to Tatiana's house because today is a big day for Kolya. Thanks to Tatiana's efforts, Kolya is ready to start kindergarten. Ваш последний первый день в садик для вас это последний? Вы думаете, что
Да, ребенок.
Да, будет, да, больше.
Думаю, уже последний, больше маленьких не будет.
Да?
Да.
Вы уверены?
Нет. Нет, не уверена.
Thanks to Tatiana's love and hard work, Kolya now has a chance to be one of the citizens who'll shape Russia's future. Thanks to the rise of Russia's church, that future looks set to be conservative, religious, and nationalistic.